my name is Katrina Lau. I'm originally from San Francisco, born and raised San Francisco native. I currently live in Lake Tahoe. Snowboarding is really important to me because it helps me bring out my creativity, and the most important thing is that it also helps overcome fear. I feel like I'm always a very scared, very shy person, and being able to do anything snowboarding wise, I've never been able to, I guess I never thought I'd be able to do any of these things, never even do any action sports. I've never been a sporty person. So being able to see myself, be able to do tricks, go down a mountain, even, I don't know, go off a cliff, land it, or even don't land it, just the fact that I'm able to do it and try to do something that really scares me and overcome that fear is super, super cool, and that means a lot to me, and that's why snowboarding is really important to me. Snowboarding is so fun, so important. I do it practically every day during the season. I don't think I could live without snowboarding. You could maybe put me on a skateboard, but there's no bindings, and I don't know, there's something scarier about being on cement and the snow and just being out in the nature and being able to do that sport every single day. It makes me really happy. I mean, I do it after I work, before I work, during my lunch breaks. So no, I don't think I could live without it. So I am currently a product designer. I build a lot of experiences for apps. I spend a lot of time on the computer, and whenever I get engrossed in my work or I have a project, I do forget about my hobby and the things that I am passionate about. Work isn't particularly something that I would say. I love design and it is one of my passions, but when it gets really busy, it can get really stressful, and I do spend a lot of time, a lot of hours just sitting on the couch, on the table, like at my office working, and then I forget about snowboarding, or there are days where I do have to sacrifice less snowboarding time so that I can work more. And it not necessarily because I have to work more, I feel like the need to be productive to work.
Is it hard to keep a balance between work and your drive for progression in snowboarding?
I think so. Between work and having fun and snowboarding, it's really, really difficult to have that balance. I struggle with ADHD, so I do bounce around a lot. I do hyper-focus on work when I do have a project or have to do something really important, and then I kind of just stare at the screen for the whole day. What was the question again? So I do struggle with ADHD, and I do think that balancing between my work and my passion for snowboarding is extremely difficult. Aside from work, I carry so many hobbies. I have probably 20 hobbies right now. If you told me there was a rock right now, I'd probably be like, oh my god, let's go look at the rock. So it's really hard to balance. I mean, aside from working, I know that I did say that I sometimes spend a lot of time, and that's because I do get hyper focused on the one thing, and when I do hyper focus, it's something that I'm really stressed about, and I want to get that thing done. So I do struggle with that, not just trying to figure out that balance, but really trying to find that happy medium so that I'm happy and I'm trying to be less stressed. But it's also trying to handle having ADHD and trying to understand it and how I can tackle it. If there are things that I can do to help alleviate that, or there are solutions that can help with that. I have a million hobbies I like. I think I pick up a new hobby at least once a week. I am an artist. I've always loved to paint, and through that, it's filtered through so many other things, because art, painting is related to so many other arts and crafts. So through painting, I draw, I do digital art, and then I vend and I create stickers. And aside from just art, I collect rocks. I love crystals, and I also tattoo. Those are literally a few of my hobbies. I skateboard now, I wakeboard now that I do a lot of different sports. I mean, if you showed me something really cool and I like it just a little bit, it's gonna be another hobby that I'm gonna do. I have 4 dogs, 4 really big dogs. They're around 80 pounds each. They're a lot, but I love them a lot. It is a lot of responsibility to have them while I try to juggle like work and like trying to snowboard and progress through that hobby. I try to figure it out. I mean, that's why I got a Subaru Outback, so that they can all fit in the car whenever I go travel, so they're always with me no matter where I go. I've actually gone to New Hampshire to be able to, I drove across the country. I did drive across the country with all of my dogs. So, I mean, it's tough a lot of the times to juggle and take care of them, but they're my family, so I always have to make it work. So I have 4 dogs. I have Salami Jom Jerry, aka Slam Jom. He is a cattle dog husky mix. I named him Slam Jom because he looks like a Slim Jim, but like extra large, so like Slam Jom. And then Jerry is a snowboard term, and he gives off this like energy of like an awkward kind of snowboarder. I have another German Shepherd named Potato Potato, Mars Potato Potato. He just is very potato shaped and potato like colored, so I think that's perfect for him. And then my other dog is gluten-free Fry Bread, aka Fry Bread. He is this golden dog, and he just looks like a fry bread. And then my last dog is Kato, and he is this white border collie, and he kind of looks like a cow. My roommate named him, and I think it's just the perfect name for him. So my goal for my career and work is I want to be able to continue to do product design and be able to be creative through that outlet as like within that career, while being able to make enough money to sustain my hobby as a snowboarder. I want to be able to kind of like have that career, but also be able to still focus on snowboarding. Even though it is a hobby, it's really important to me that I progress in that, and maybe it can become something one day. I still haven't figured out how I can like kind of combine the two, or even just balance the two. So that's something that I'm still trying to figure out. My goal in snowboarding is to be the best snowboarder that I can possibly be. And I don't know what that really entails. I think that it's endless. Every single time I'm out there on the snow and I learn something, I keep wanting to learn something like new or get better at the thing that I'm learning at. I feel like it's just like it's endless in the things that you can learn, and I always just want to progressively get better at it. Attainably, I would love to be able to get a sponsor, or just be able to show people, inspire people, even through social media, through creating videos, that you can have like a hobby that you're really passionate about and do it really well. And it doesn't matter at what point or what age you are that you can start this hobby. As long as you do it and you're having fun, then yeah, you can progress at any point in time. So I have considered my design skills and see how I can transfer it over to snowboarding in some way. And the only reason why I think about that is because I do struggle with a work-life balance. So what if I created work that went into my hobby of snowboarding? And I do think that if I was able to sustain myself financially through my design work and incorporating that with snowboarding, I can definitely kind of sway away from product design and really just focus on designing within snowboarding. And I don't really know what that entails. That could be maybe even designing snowboards, creating social media content for companies. Again, I'm not too sure. There's just so many things, so many topics that I could think of, and I haven't really focused on one. Again, I like really do struggle with that. So growing up, I have always been into fashion, and I do think that's a part of my creativity and one of my hobbies growing up. I've always been into streetwear. I'm not sure if folks are familiar with like being a hype beast. Embarrassingly enough, I was one in high school. I really loved streetwear brands like Supreme and Palace, and I love wearing it because of like just the way it looked, and it evolved into something more, into creating my own style, and I'm able to apply that not even through just snowboarding. So within snowboarding, I'm able to apply that and have really cool outfits every single day that I snowboard that make me feel really good so I can progress within the hobby. But I also wear something really cool whenever I have to work, even though, so I do work remotely as a product designer. And whenever I do put on a really nice outfit, even during my Zoom meetings and my work calls, it makes me feel good as a designer, and to know that I have my own sense of style and that's me as a person. So it really reflects and shows my personality. So in 10 years, I don't even know where I see myself. I always say that I want to be retired. I would love to be retired on the mountains with 10 dogs, a little farm so I can wake up gently in the morning, pick some berries, have a little salad, and then go snowboarding and maybe be creative and do some art. I don't really know where that goes with my work-life balance. I haven't figured that out yet. Again, maybe I won't be working because I will be retired. So I currently have 4 dogs. If I could get more dogs, I would. The difficulty about that is, again, taking care of dogs. When you have 4 80-pound dogs, it's a lot of food. One of my dogs, Salami, has seizures, so he's a little bit more expensive whenever I take him to the vet, and that's something that I didn't think about before that I have to take into account in the future. I probably would get maybe 3 more dogs, only if I was able to get like support in terms of like maybe a friend helping me take care of my dogs during like a vacation or something like that. But I also need to remember to be responsible and to, I guess, like in a way be ethical about it. Like if I'm not able to handle it, then I shouldn't get it. But if I could and I had all the money in the world and people to help take care of them when I'm gone, then yeah, maybe like 8 to 10 dogs. So if I got 3 more dogs, honestly, I don't really care. I just want them to be kind of big, and I want them to love me and be able to be off leash. I really support having mixed breed dogs and just adopting dogs. Yeah. So I have a social media, and I did this for myself,
like,
where
kind of like
I
double check, like, is that
show
you?
the progression of my snowboarding. And the series is basically day blank, so like day 1 of snowboarding until I become a pro.
And then look at me.
The whole point is, it's not really
Good.
to become pro, it's just to show the progression as a 27-year-old person, in like being introduced into the snowboarding world, because not a lot of people start snowboarding when they're older, and a lot of people are scared to start because everyone is very good and they started at a very young age. I do think that it can inspire people to even just start a new hobby in general, because it doesn't, like, I want to show people that it really doesn't matter at what point or what age you are. You can do literally anything you want. You don't have to be good at it. I just want people to have fun. And I think that it has taken off a little bit. I mean, I've gotten messages from people that they feel inspired to even like go snowboard and hit the park and hit features that they never hit before. People have come up to me and asked me, hey, what day is it, and can I learn something from you? I'm not a teacher, but I think it's really, really awesome that people have come up to me saying things like that. And it's really cool because I could incorporate my creativity as a designer in my videos, and people are able to see that, whether it's my drawings or even, I don't know, just like showing animations and learning new things. So even within that, I'm learning like video editing, and I'm creating new hobbies within this like kind of like niche outside of snowboarding. So I think that's really cool. I don't see myself going pro, actually. I would love to go pro. I envision myself going pro, but down, I actually don't see it because I've never been a sporty person. I actually never even thought I'd be able to do a sport like this in my life. I've never imagined myself snowboarding, ever, up until the point I started snowboarding. But even when I did start snowboarding, I've realized how difficult it is. It is a goal that I would love to be able to reach, but there are so many smaller goals that I want to attain. And the big picture is not to go pro, but to be able to reach these small goals of like maybe like learning a trick. And eventually when I start learning that trick and doing something more complicated, then maybe eventually that will lead to me going pro. But I don't want to expect myself to go pro, because that's gonna put so much pressure on myself. So my suggestion for anyone that wants to start any sport, especially like snowboarding, because it's an action sport, it's not very accessible. It's really expensive and it's really hard. When I first started, I kind of wanted to quit because it was hard to even do the basics like S-turns. I couldn't even connect that. But I think that if you truly have that feeling that you know that you will enjoy it, even if you don't enjoy it, I would suggest just try it, even for not just one day, but you have to try it at least for maybe even a week. Go up to someone that you think like looks cool, or like, I don't know, anyone on the mountain that's good, and even ask them for advice. Like, don't be scared to ask questions. People are nicer than they seem in general. If you're too scared to ask someone in person, then go on YouTube and look at some tutorials. And even if you find other beginners on the mountain, maybe you can make friends with other beginners on the mountain and learn together. I just didn't give up. I kept falling, and I knew that this is part of the process. You have to suck at something to get good at something. No one's good unless you're just born with this innate talent, and not everyone is, and that's literally okay. You have to be shameless. That's basically it. I have been snowboarding, I want to say maybe 40 days, and it is technically like my first season learning how to snowboard. And since I've started day one, so day one I could not get on any rail. I was too scared to get onto anything. And now, after around 40 days of snowboarding, I'm able to get onto rails. I can do this thing called a 50-50, which is getting onto a rail and going straight, and then getting off of it. I've learned other tricks like board slides. I'm not the best at them, but I am understanding the concept of them, and I'm also able to go off of jumps, which is really scary. I mean, imagine a 50-foot jump. I never thought I'd be able to do that before. I have achieved this through a really slow progression of starting very small and then working my way up. But it has taken a lot of practice and consistency to be able to do that. And it is hard whenever I do have to work, or whenever my ADHD like kind of pulls me back and I start getting distracted, because there are so many things you have to learn or you want to learn in snowboarding, and you kind of like are like frozen, like, oh, today what should I learn? And then you want to focus on the one thing, and then later you kind of want to learn another thing, but then in order to get better at this one thing, you need to stay focused on this one thing. So I have learned a lot. I've also done cliff drops, which is pretty crazy. I never thought I'd be able to do that ever without breaking a bone. So I think that's really awesome. Having ADHD is really hard when I'm doing work or when I'm like snowboarding, especially in snowboarding, because again, there are a lot of tricks in snowboarding. There are so many that I literally don't even know the names to a majority of them. I know the like basic like generic names, and it's very overwhelming. I try to really just focus on one thing for that one day, and I try not to pressure myself. So if I do want to kind of like, if I feel tired of learning another thing and I see maybe even like someone on the mountain doing something else and I'm like, hey, I want to try that, I am gonna try that. And I actually don't know if this is a good way of progressing. It might create a slower progression, but it could create a happier progression for me. So it's not about progressing fast, it's about being able to progress while being happy, doing a hobby that you really enjoy.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good.